Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. This topic was a suggestion from one of my viewers. The Maori people are the indigenous people of New Zealand. I didn't know much about Maori deities or Maori culture in general, but after researching it I've discovered it's absolutely fascinating, and some of the gods and goddesses in its mythology are wondrous. Number 5. Whaitiri. Starting with a bang, Whaitiri is the goddess of thunder. She comes from a line of deities, all of whom personify lightning, so she's in the right family. Usually seen as a god to fear as well as respect, Whaitiri is allegedly a cannibal. In fact, one story tells of a mortal man called Kaitangata with a reputation for eating other men, and Whaitiri decides that he's the man to marry. Unfortunately for her, Kaitangata doesn't seem to live up to his reputation, and after offering him the torn-out heart and liver of her favourite slave, he recoils in horror. In fact, the marriage never truly worked, as her husband ends up giving her fish caught on tainted hooks, causing her to go blind. After spending much of her time sightless and being harassed by her grandchildren and eating only sweet potatoes, her grandson eventually restores her sight, and in return she tells him how he can climb up into the sky. Some really interesting stories there, but not without grisly details or suffering. Number 4. Ruamoko. This god is thought to be the deity of earthquakes and volcanoes, but also personifies the seasons. Born to the god of the sky and the goddess of the earth, Rangi and Papa, Ruamoko causes eruptions and earthquakes to occur. When the gods Rangi and Papa were split up by their children, it's said that the father, Rangi, flooded all the land with his tears of sadness. The mother, Papa, representing the earth, was turned upside down by her children to stem their father's grief. As Ruamoko was only a baby at the time, he was turned upside down with his mother. Spending time on the earth below, he moved around beneath the surface, causing earthquakes, and the fire given to him by another god for warmth was what caused the volcanoes to erupt. Although destructive, Ruamoko is a benevolent god whose earthquakes are thought to cause the seasons of the year as he pulls on the ropes that control the movement of the land, either making the world warmer or cooler as a result. Number 3. Punga. I love this one. The son of a sea god, Punga is a deity who is a direct ancestor of all things ugly or deformed. He is thought to be the father of any weird-looking or ugly animal on Earth, such as sharks, lizards, rays, and so on. In fact, a Maori saying goes, Te aitanga a Punga, which means the offspring of Punga, which is a way of talking about someone you find ugly. Punga himself had 2 sons called Ikatere and Tute Wehiwehi. They had to escape to save their own lives when the god of storms declared war on members of their family. The 2 boys ended up becoming the father of fishes and the father of lizards respectively, continuing their father Punga's legacy. The name Punga itself comes from an old Polynesian word for anchor. This is suitable indeed for a god who was born to the god of the sea. Number 2. Uenuku. A beautiful deity, this one. Uenuku is known in Maori mythology as the god of rainbows. The story of Uenuku is a lovely one as well. Early one morning, Uenuku was hunting for food when he noticed a beautiful woman emerging from the mist. He spoke to her and convinced her to meet him there each night so that they could talk. Soon they became deeply in love, but because she lived in the sky, as all beings of mist do, she always had to leave him every morning at sunrise. She agreed to marry Uenuku and gave birth to a daughter by him, but as she always left each morning, his friends never believed that she actually existed. So one day Uenuku barred the doors and windows so that his wife wouldn't know when it was morning and couldn't leave. Unfortunately, the woman of mist saw through this deception and left him to live in the sky permanently with their daughter. Uenuku was devastated and searched the world for his wife and daughter. Eventually, the sky god Rangi saw this and pitied him, turning Uenuku into a rainbow so he could live in the sky with his family forevermore. So, next time you see a rainbow, think of the Maori people and their god Uenuku. Number 1. Rehua. Highly revered, Rehua is the Maori star god. Represented by certain stars in the sky, Rehua is believed to live high up in the heavens, watching over everything. It is said that this powerful god is completely untouched by death due to his high position both in status and in the sky, and it's believed that he has the power to cure any disease, heal blindness, and even revive the dead. Rehua first came into the world as lightning, born to Rangi and Papa, the god of the sky and the goddess of the earth. Soon he took on a more human form, but then travelled high into the skies to take his place among the stars. Different Maori tribes believe he is a different star. Some think he is Antares, and others believe he is Betelgeuse, or indeed Sirius. All bright stars high in the sky, those ones. One story tells of Rehua's brother, Tane, who visited him at his home in the heavens. He found Rehua with birds in his hair, eating the lice that dwelled within the tangled mess. Rehua ordered that the birds be killed to provide a meal for his brother, but Tane refused to eat the birds on the grounds that they had eaten lice from a sacred head. Instead, Rehua gave Tane some birds to take back to Earth with him, along with the fruit trees the birds lived in. Tane let these loose upon the world, giving us both birds and the forests they inhabit. And that's it from All Top 5s for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into Maori mythology, and I hope you've enjoyed my attempt to pronounce the Maori words properly. There are many more deities who have interesting stories as well. It's a really fascinating culture that revolves a lot around the natural world and the wonders in it. Well worth a look up if you're interested. Be polite and considerate in the comments. Remember, we're discussing mythology and even a religion, so do be respectful of others' comments and opinions. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please just give it a thumbs up on YouTube. It really helps me out and it only takes a second. You can subscribe for a new video every Tuesday if you want to as well by clicking on subscribe. So, peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.